What if I told you that behind one of the most controversial and captivating political journeys of our time lies a blueprint written nearly a century ago? What if the very principles that guided steel magnates, oil barons, and industrial titans could explain not just one but three extraordinary presidential campaigns that defied every conventional rule of politics? Before we begin, make sure to subscribe to the channel and hit the notification bell, because what you're about to discover today could change the way you see success forever. Picture this. A real estate mogul from Queens, New York, with no political experience, decides to run for the highest office in the land. Experts laugh. The media scoffs. Political veterans shake their heads in disbelief. Yet against all odds, he wins. Then, 4 years later, he faces the ultimate test of character, defeat. But the story doesn't end there. Like a phoenix rising from the ashes, he emerges once more, determined to reclaim what he believes is rightfully his. This isn't just a political story. This is a masterclass in the application of timeless success principles that transcend party lines, ideologies, and personal opinions. This is the story of how Napoleon Hill's revolutionary mindset principles, forged through interviews with over 500 millionaires and titans of industry, played out on the world's largest political stage. You're about to witness how 7 fundamental laws of success, laws that built empires and transformed ordinary individuals into extraordinary achievers, guided one man through victory, defeat, and the ultimate comeback attempt. These aren't just political strategies, they're life strategies that you can apply to your own dreams, your own setbacks, and your own comebacks. Are you ready to decode the mindset that refused to accept defeat? Are you prepared to discover how the same principles that created Standard Oil and US Steel could reshape modern political destiny? Then buckle up, because we're about to embark on a journey through the intersection of timeless wisdom and contemporary ambition, where failure becomes fuel and setbacks become setups for extraordinary comebacks. Chapter 1. The Secret Revealed by Hill. In 1908, a young journalist named Napoleon Hill received what would become the assignment of a lifetime. Andrew Carnegie, the steel magnate and one of the richest men who ever lived, challenged Hill to discover the secret formula that separated the ultra-successful from everyone else. Carnegie gave Hill letters of introduction to the most powerful industrialists, inventors, and entrepreneurs of the era. Men like Henry Ford, Thomas Edison, John D., Rockefeller, and Theodore Roosevelt. 20 years later, after conducting over 25,000 interviews and studying the habits of more than 500 millionaires, Hill codified his findings into what would become the most influential success philosophy ever written: Think and Grow Rich. But Hill discovered something profound. Success wasn't about luck, circumstances, or even talent. It was about mastering specific mental principles that anyone could learn and apply. From Hill's extensive research emerged 17 fundamental principles of success, but today we focus on the 7 that would later echo through the corridors of Trump Tower and reverberate across 3 presidential campaigns that captivated a nation and shocked the world. Principle 1. Burning Desire. Hill discovered that every great achievement begins with a consuming, passionate desire that becomes so intense it transforms into an obsession. This isn't mere wanting. It's a burning, all-consuming need that drives action even when logic suggests retreat. Principle 2. Unshakable faith. Beyond mere belief lies an unwavering conviction that success is not just possible, but inevitable. Hill found that truly successful individuals possess a faith so strong that it becomes a living force, attracting the very circumstances needed for achievement. Principle 3. Autosuggestion. The practice of feeding the subconscious mind with positive, success-oriented thoughts until they become automatic responses. Hill revealed how successful people literally reprogram their minds through consistent, deliberate mental conditioning. Principle 4. Specialized knowledge. Hill learned that general knowledge, while valuable, pales in comparison to specialized knowledge applied to specific goals. The most successful individuals become experts in their chosen fields, surrounding themselves with mastermind groups of equally specialized individuals. Principle 5. Organized planning. Dreams without plans remain wishes. Hill documented how every successful venture required meticulous planning, constant revision, and the wisdom to adapt strategies while maintaining unwavering focus on the ultimate objective. Principle 6. Decision. Perhaps the most critical principle. Hill found that successful people make decisions quickly and change them slowly, while unsuccessful people make decisions slowly and change them quickly. The ability to commit to a course of action, despite incomplete information, separates leaders from followers. Principle 7. Persistence, the crown jewel of Hill's philosophy. He discovered that persistence is the direct result of habit, and that the vast majority of failures occur because individuals lack the persistence to continue when temporary defeat appears. Those who master persistence transform every failure into a stepping stone toward ultimate success. These 7 principles, forged in the crucible of American industrial expansion and proven by titans who built empires from nothing, would find their modern expression in the most unlikely arena: the political ambitions of a real estate developer who would challenge every assumption about what it takes to reach the pinnacle of American political power. But how do century-old principles apply to 21st century political warfare? How do the mental strategies that built steel empires translate to modern campaign battlegrounds? The answers lie in understanding that success principles are timeless, universal, and utterly indifferent to the arena in which they're applied. Chapter 2. Trump 2016, The Outsider's Victory, June 16, 2015. The golden escalator at Trump Tower descends, carrying a 69-year-old real estate mogul into a political arena where he was universally dismissed as a publicity-seeking amateur. What the experts didn't recognize was that they were witnessing the embodiment of Napoleon Hill's first principle in action: burning desire. The burning desire ignites. Hill wrote, "Every person who wins in any undertaking must be willing to burn his ships and cut all sources of retreat. Only by so doing can one be sure of maintaining that state of mind, known as a burning desire to win, which is essential to success." Trump's burning desire wasn't born overnight. For decades, he had publicly contemplated presidential runs, testing the waters, building name recognition, and studying the political landscape. But something changed in 2015. The desire transformed from casual consideration into consuming obsession. He didn't just want to be president. He needed to be president with an intensity that would drive him to risk everything: his business relationships, his brand, his reputation, and his personal fortune. This burning desire manifested in ways that stunned political observers. While traditional candidates relied on focus groups and polling data to craft their messages, Trump spoke from an unfiltered conviction that resonated with millions of Americans who felt forgotten by the political establishment. His desire was so intense that it became infectious, spreading to rally attendees who had never felt such enthusiasm for a political candidate. Unshakable faith in the face of universal doubt. Hill emphasized that faith is a state of mind that can be induced through affirmation or repeated instructions to the subconscious mind. Trump demonstrated this principle by maintaining unwavering confidence, even when facing a field of 17 experienced Republican politicians, a hostile media, and prediction markets that gave him minimal chances of victory. His faith wasn't blind optimism. It was the calculated confidence of someone who had studied his competition and identified their weaknesses. While other candidates played by traditional rules, Trump's faith allowed him to rewrite the playbook entirely. He turned media criticism into free publicity, transformed political inexperience into authenticity, and converted controversial statements into viral moments that dominated news cycles. The faith principle revealed itself most clearly during the darkest moments of the campaign. When the Access Hollywood tape emerged in October 2016, many politicians would have withdrawn from the race. Instead, Trump's unshakable faith in his ultimate victory allowed him to weather the storm, apologize without surrendering, and continue fighting when others would have retreated. Autosuggestion and mental conditioning. Hill discovered that successful individuals constantly feed their minds with thoughts of success, wealth, and achievement until these thoughts become automatic responses. Trump's mastery of autosuggestion was evident in his consistent messaging about winning, Making America Great Again, and his personal success stories. But the true genius of Trump's auto-suggestion wasn't just personal, it was collective. Through repetitive rallies, consistent messaging, and constant reinforcement of core themes, he programmed not just his own mind, but the minds of millions of supporters. The phrase, "Make America Great Again," became more than a slogan. It became a form of mass auto-suggestion that created a movement. Trump's Twitter presence served as a real-time example of auto-suggestion in action. His tweets consistently reinforced themes of winning, success, and positive outcomes, creating a feedback loop that strengthened his own belief while simultaneously influencing public opinion. He literally tweeted his way to the presidency by maintaining relentless positive mental conditioning. Specialized knowledge and the mastermind principle. Despite having no political experience, Trump demonstrated Hill's principle of specialized knowledge by surrounding himself with individuals who understood the political game at the highest levels. His mastermind group included political operatives like Paul Manafort and Corey Lewandowski, media specialists like Steve Bannon, and family members who provided trusted counsel. More importantly, Trump possessed specialized knowledge in areas that traditional politicians overlooked: understanding media dynamics, brand building, and direct communication with audiences. While other candidates relied on intermediaries and traditional media channels, Trump's specialized knowledge of media manipulation allowed him to control the narrative directly. His business background provided specialized knowledge in negotiation, deal-making, and understanding what motivates different groups of people. He applied these skills to politics, treating each state primary like a business acquisition and each demographic group like a potential client base. Organized planning and strategic adaptation. Hill emphasized that successful planning requires flexibility, the ability to adapt strategies while maintaining focus on the ultimate objective. Trump's campaign demonstrated this principle through constant strategic evolution while never wavering from core messaging. The campaign's organized planning was evident in their electoral college strategy, which identified key battleground states and allocated resources accordingly. While Hillary Clinton's campaign focused heavily on popular vote totals, Trump's team organized their planning around the specific mechanism for victory: electoral college math. When traditional campaign strategies proved insufficient, Trump's team adapted by embracing social media, alternative media outlets, and direct communication methods that bypassed traditional gatekeepers. This organized planning allowed them to reach voters who had been ignored by conventional political approaches. Decision-making under pressure. Hill's research revealed that successful individuals make decisions quickly and stick with them. Throughout the 2016 campaign, Trump demonstrated this principle by making rapid decisions that kept opponents off balance and maintained momentum. His decision to participate in primary debates despite having no political experience, his choice to continue campaigning after setbacks, and his determination to maintain an aggressive schedule all reflected Hill's principle of decisive action. While other candidates deliberated and consulted focus groups, Trump made instinctive decisions that often proved correct. The ultimate decision, to continue fighting even when polls showed him trailing, exemplified Hill's teaching that successful people decide to succeed and refuse to consider failure as a permanent outcome. Persistence through the impossible. Perhaps no principle was more crucial to Trump's 2016 victory than persistence. Hill wrote, "Before success comes in any man's life, he is sure to meet with much temporary defeat, and perhaps some failure. When defeat overtakes a man, the easiest and most logical thing to do is to quit. That is exactly what the majority of men do." Trump's persistence was legendary. Through bankruptcies, business failures, personal scandals, and professional setbacks, he had spent decades learning that persistence could overcome seemingly impossible odds. This experience proved invaluable during the 2016 campaign, when faced with daily predictions of certain defeat. His persistence manifested in his refusal to moderate his message despite pressure from party leaders, his determination to hold rallies in states that others considered unwinnable, and his insistence on fighting until the very last vote was counted. When others saw impossible odds, Trump saw opportunities that persistence could unlock. The victory on November 8, 2016, represented more than a political triumph. It was the validation of Napoleon Hill's success principles applied to the highest stakes arena in American politics. But success, as Hill warned, brings its own challenges. The same principles that led to victory would soon be tested by the ultimate challenge, maintaining power while facing coordinated opposition and unprecedented scrutiny. Chapter 3. Trump 2020, Lessons in Defeat and the Seeds of Comeback. Hill wrote in Think and Grow Rich, "Every adversity, every failure, every heartache carries with it the seed of an equal or greater benefit." The 2020 election would test this principle like no other event in Trump's career. But to understand how Hill's principles applied to this devastating defeat, we must examine both the strategic errors and the hidden opportunities that defeat would eventually reveal. When burning desire meets unprecedented opposition. The burning desire that fueled Trump's 2016 victory remained as intense in 2020, but it now faced obstacles that no previous president had encountered. A global pandemic, economic uncertainty, social unrest, and an opposition that had spent 4 years studying and adapting to his strategies created a perfect storm of challenges. Trump's burning desire manifested in his relentless campaign schedule despite COVID-19 restrictions, his determination to hold rallies when opponents relied on virtual events, and his insistence on fighting for every vote even when media outlets declared the race decided. But Hill also taught that burning desire must be channeled through intelligent action, and here the 2020 campaign revealed crucial lessons. The desire remained pure, but the expression became scattered. Instead of the laser focus that characterized 2016, Trump's 2020 campaign fought battles on multiple fronts: pandemic response, economic recovery, social justice issues, and traditional political messaging. The burning desire was undimmed, but its energy was dispersed rather than concentrated. Faith tested by systematic opposition. Hill's principle of unshakable faith faced its ultimate test in 2020. Trump maintained absolute conviction in victory, even as polling data, media coverage, and political experts predicted defeat. This faith sustained him through the most challenging campaign of his career, but it also revealed the difference between faith and wishful thinking. Trump's faith in his message, his supporters, and his ability to connect with voters remained justified. He received more votes than any incumbent president in history. However, his faith in traditional political systems and established institutions was shaken by what he perceived as fundamental changes in electoral processes and media coverage. The faith principle worked exactly as Hill described. It attracted the resources, energy, and support necessary for an extraordinary campaign effort. But Hill also emphasized that faith must be coupled with organized planning and accurate specialized knowledge to achieve desired outcomes. Auto-suggestion in an echo chamber. The auto-suggestion principle, which had been so powerful in 2016, faced new challenges in 2020. Trump continued his relentless positive mental conditioning, but the media landscape had evolved to create competing auto-suggestion systems that neutralized some of his messaging effectiveness. Social media platforms began filtering and fact-checking content. Traditional media outlets coordinated negative coverage, and opposition research teams provided rapid response to every statement. The auto-suggestion that had once dominated news cycles now competed with sophisticated counter-messaging operations. However, Trump's auto-suggestion remained powerful within his core supporter base. Rally attendees continued to demonstrate the collective mental conditioning that had been so effective in 2016, but the expansion to undecided voters proved more difficult when the auto-suggestion had to penetrate hostile information environments. Specialized knowledge gaps. Hill emphasized that specialized knowledge must be constantly updated and expanded. The 2020 campaign revealed gaps in specialized knowledge about pandemic campaigning, mail-in voting systems, and changing demographics that proved costly. While Trump's team possessed deep knowledge of traditional campaign mechanics, they were slower to adapt to pandemic-era political realities. The specialized knowledge that had been so effective in 2016, rallies, direct voter contact, media manipulation, required updating for a world where voters were isolated, mail-in voting had expanded, and media consumption patterns had shifted. The campaign also faced specialized knowledge challenges regarding changing voting procedures, legal challenges to election processes, and the complex logistics of pandemic-era political organizing. Some of this knowledge gap stemmed from the unprecedented nature of 2020's circumstances, but Hill's principles suggest that continuous learning and adaptation are essential for sustained success. Planning. Disrupted by external forces. The organized planning that had been crucial to 2016's success faced disruption from forces beyond the campaign's control. Pandemic restrictions, economic uncertainty, and social unrest required constant plan revisions that strained the campaign's ability to maintain strategic focus. Trump's team demonstrated remarkable adaptability, shifting to virtual events when necessary, modifying campaign strategies to address pandemic concerns, and adjusting messaging to respond to rapidly changing circumstances. However, the constant need for replanning prevented the sustained strategic focus that Hill identified as crucial for success. The Electoral College strategy that had been so effective in 2016 remained sound, but execution was complicated by changing voting patterns, demographic shifts, and unprecedented voter turnout levels that altered traditional campaign mathematics. Decision-making under maximum pressure. Hill's principle of quick decision-making faced its ultimate test during the 2020 campaign and its aftermath. Trump continued to make rapid decisions, but the stakes had never been higher, and the information had never been more conflicting. His decision to continue campaigning despite pandemic risks, his choice to challenge election results through legal channels, and his determination to fight until every option was exhausted, all reflected Hill's teaching about decisive leadership. However, the complexity of 2020's challenges required decision-making in environments where traditional reference points no longer applied. The decision to contest the election results, while controversial, demonstrated Hill's principle that successful individuals refuse to accept defeat until all possibilities have been exhausted. This persistence in the face of seemingly impossible odds would later prove crucial to the comeback attempt that would define the next chapter. Persistence. Through the ultimate test. If any principle defined Trump's response to the 2020 election, it was persistence. Hill wrote, "Most great people have attained their greatest success just one step beyond their greatest failure." The 2020 defeat became the ultimate test of this principle. Trump's persistence manifested in his refusal to accept the results, his determination to pursue legal challenges, and his continued engagement with supporters who felt disenfranchised by the outcome. While critics viewed this as inability to accept defeat, Hill's principles suggest that true persistence often appears unreasonable to outside observers. The persistence principle also revealed itself in Trump's immediate focus on future opportunities rather than dwelling on past defeat. Within weeks of the 2020 election, he was already laying groundwork for potential future campaigns, demonstrating Hill's teaching that setbacks are temporary unless they are accepted as permanent. The seed of equal or greater benefit. Hill's most profound teaching about failure, that every defeat carries the seed of equal or greater benefit, would prove prophetic regarding the 2020 election. The defeat revealed crucial insights about changing electoral dynamics, opposition strategies, and the loyalty of Trump's core supporter base that would prove invaluable for future efforts. The 2020 campaign also demonstrated the limits of traditional political approaches in rapidly changing environments and highlighted the need for evolution in messaging, organization, and strategic thinking. These lessons, while painful, provided specialized knowledge that could be applied to future campaigns. Most importantly, the defeat crystallized Trump's core supporter base and identified the most committed elements of his political movement. While defeat cost him the presidency, it revealed the depth and durability of his political support in ways that victory might not have accomplished. The 2020 election tested every aspect of Hill's success principles and revealed both their power and their limitations when applied to complex, rapidly changing environments. But as Hill taught, the true test of these principles isn't avoiding failure. It's using failure as a foundation for even greater future success. Chapter 4. Trump 2024. The comeback that defied all expectations. Comeback is perhaps the most American story ever told. It's the narrative thread that connects every great achievement in our nation's history, from the Revolutionary War to the Great Depression recovery to the space program. And in 2024, the world witnessed one of the most remarkable political comebacks in history, powered by the same principles that Napoleon Hill discovered in his study of America's greatest success stories. The burning desire refined by defeat. Hill wrote, "The starting point of all achievement is desire. Keep this constantly in mind. Weak desires bring weak results, just as a small amount of fire makes a small amount of heat." The defeat of 2020 didn't extinguish Trump's burning desire. It refined it into something even more powerful. The desire that drove the 2024 campaign was different from both 2016 and 2020. It carried the wisdom of victory, the humility of defeat, and the crystal-clear focus that only comes from understanding exactly what success requires. This wasn't the experimental desire of an outsider or the confident desire of an incumbent. This was the burning desire of someone who had tasted both ultimate victory and crushing defeat and chose to fight again. Trump's desire manifested in his immediate return to public life, despite facing unprecedented legal challenges, media hostility, and political isolation. While others might have retreated to write memoirs and give paid speeches, his burning desire compelled him to rebuild his political organization, maintain rally schedules, and begin laying groundwork for another campaign before the 2020 election had even been certified. The refined desire also showed in his strategic patience. Unlike previous campaigns that announced late and relied on media coverage for momentum, Trump began building 2024 infrastructure almost immediately after leaving office. This methodical approach reflected Hill's teaching that true burning desire expresses itself not just in intensity, but in sustained, intelligent action over time. Faith forged in the crucible of defeat. Napoleon Hill distinguished between blind faith and intelligent faith, faith based on understanding patterns, studying precedents, and recognizing opportunities that others miss. Trump's 2024 faith represented this higher form of conviction, strengthened rather than weakened by the trials of 2020. His faith drew from historical precedent: Grover Cleveland's successful comeback, Richard Nixon's political resurrection, and countless business leaders who had lost everything only to rebuild even stronger. But it also drew from contemporary evidence, continued rally attendance, polling data showing sustained support, and the growing dissatisfaction with current political leadership. This refined faith allowed Trump to navigate the complex legal and political challenges of 2022 and 2023 with remarkable composure. While facing multiple indictments, civil lawsuits, and coordinated political opposition, he maintained the unshakable conviction that these obstacles were temporary and that ultimate vindication was inevitable. The faith principle also manifested in his willingness to risk everything once again. Having experienced the personal cost of political defeat, damaged business relationships, strained family dynamics, and reputational challenges, his decision to run again required faith that the potential benefits justified the enormous personal risks. Autosuggestion evolved for modern warfare. The autosuggestion principle that had been so effective in 2016 and tested in 2020 evolved into something far more sophisticated for the 2024 campaign. Trump and his team learned to navigate platform restrictions, algorithm changes, and coordinated censorship while maintaining the positive mental conditioning that Hill identified as crucial for success. The evolution showed in diversified messaging platforms, from traditional social media to alternative platforms to direct communication methods that bypassed traditional gatekeepers entirely. The autosuggestion wasn't just about reaching supporters, it was about building parallel information systems that could operate independently of hostile media environments. Trump's messaging also became more precise and targeted. Instead of the broad themes that had worked in simpler political environments, the 2024 autosuggestion addressed specific concerns about economic performance, international relations, and social stability. The positive mental conditioning remained constant, but its expression became more strategic and sophisticated. The collective auto-suggestion, the programming of millions of minds towards shared vision and common purpose, reached new levels of effectiveness as supporters who had been through the complete cycle of victory, defeat, and comeback attempt demonstrated unprecedented loyalty and enthusiasm. Specialized knowledge accumulated through experience. Hill emphasized that specialized knowledge must be gained through experience or acquired from others who possess it through experience. By 2024, Trump possessed specialized knowledge that no other political figure could claim. The experience of winning a presidential election as an outsider, governing as president, and mounting a comeback campaign after defeat. This specialized knowledge manifested in sophisticated understanding of electoral college mathematics, media manipulation strategies, legal system navigation, and the complex dynamics of modern political coalition building. He knew which strategies worked, which failed, and which required modification for changed circumstances. His mastermind group also reflected accumulated specialized knowledge. The 2024 team combined veterans of successful previous campaigns with new talent recruited specifically to address the evolved challenges of modern political warfare. This blend of experience and innovation created unprecedented specialized knowledge advantages. The specialized knowledge extended beyond traditional political expertise to include legal strategy, media platform management, grassroots organizing in hostile environments, and maintaining political momentum while facing systematic opposition. These skills, acquired through necessity, gave the 2024 campaign capabilities that traditional political operations couldn't match. Organized planning at master level. The organized planning for the 2024 campaign represented the culmination of lessons learned through 2 previous presidential campaigns, 4 years of governing experience, and 3 years of opposition research and strategic preparation. Hill's principle of organized planning reached its highest expression in the systematic, methodical approach that characterized every aspect of the comeback attempt. Planning began immediately after the 2020 election with comprehensive analysis of what worked, what failed, and what needed to be improved. This wasn't emotional reaction to defeat, it was clinical examination of data, strategies, and outcomes designed to optimize future performance. The 2024 planning also demonstrated Hill's teaching about flexible adaptation to changing circumstances. Campaign strategies were designed with built-in adaptability to respond to legal challenges, media hostility, and opposition research without losing strategic focus or momentum. Resource allocation, timing decisions, and strategic messaging all reflected the highest levels of organized planning, backed by specialized knowledge, and executed with the precision that comes from experience. Every major decision had contingency plans, backup strategies, and alternative approaches ready for immediate implementation. Decision-making mastery, under ultimate pressure. By 2024, Trump had faced every conceivable type of decision-making pressure: business crises, media attacks, political challenges, legal jeopardy, and personal hardship. This experience created decision-making capabilities that Hill would have recognized as master-level application of his principles. The decision to run again despite enormous personal costs, legal risks, and political obstacles demonstrated Hill's teaching about commitment to chosen courses of action, regardless of temporary circumstances. This wasn't impulsive decision-making, it was strategic commitment based on comprehensive analysis and unwavering focus on ultimate objectives. Trump's 2024 decision-making also showed remarkable strategic patience, the ability to make long-term decisions while adapting short-term tactics to changing circumstances. This balance between strategic consistency and tactical flexibility represented the highest expression of Hill's decision-making principles: persistence perfected through adversity. If Napoleon Hill were alive to witness the 2024 campaign, he would have recognized it as perhaps the ultimate demonstration of his persistence principle. Every obstacle that could test human determination had been encountered and overcome: defeat, legal challenges, media hostility, political isolation, financial pressure, and personal attacks. The persistence showed not just in continuing to fight, but in learning, adapting, and improving with each setback. Every legal challenge became an opportunity to demonstrate resolve. Every media attack became a chance to connect with supporters who felt similarly targeted. Every political obstacle became a platform for highlighting the systematic opposition to his movement. Trump's 2024 persistence also demonstrated Hill's teaching that true persistence is based on definite purpose rather than mere stubbornness. The comeback wasn't driven by ego or revenge, but by conviction that his unique combination of experience, knowledge, and capabilities served purposes larger than personal ambition. The persistence principle reached its ultimate expression in the campaign's ability to maintain forward momentum, despite facing coordinated opposition from media, legal, political, and business establishments. This level of persistence under maximum pressure validated Hill's teaching that this quality, more than any other, separates ultimate success from temporary achievement. The comeback vindication. The 2024 election results represented more than political victory. They validated Napoleon Hill's core teaching that defeat is never permanent unless it's accepted as such. The comeback demonstrated that the same principles that built America's greatest business empires could overcome the most sophisticated political opposition ever assembled. The victory also proved Hill's principle about the seed of equal or greater benefit found in every defeat. The 2020 loss had provided invaluable specialized knowledge, refined strategic thinking, and deeper understanding of both supporters and opponents that made 2024's success possible. Most importantly, the 2024 campaign showed that Hill's principles work regardless of external circumstances, opposition intensity, or apparent impossibility of success. When properly applied with sufficient persistence, these timeless success principles can overcome any obstacle and achieve any worthy objective. Chapter 5. Lessons for the Viewer. Applying Napoleon Hill's principles to your own success. The political arena may seem distant from your personal challenges, but the principles that guided Trump through victory, defeat, and comeback are identical to those that can transform your own life. Hill's research revealed that success principles are universal. They work in business, relationships, health, creativity, and any other area where human achievement is possible. Cultivating your own burning desire. Hill wrote, "Desire is the starting point of all achievement, but not all desires are created equal. The burning desire that drives extraordinary achievement has specific characteristics that you can develop and strengthen in your own life. First, your desire must be specific. Vague wishes for success or happiness lack the focus necessary to drive sustained action. Trump's desire wasn't simply to be successful in politics, it was the specific goal of becoming President of the United States. Your burning desire must be equally precise. Instead of wanting to be wealthy, determine the exact amount of wealth you desire and by what date. Instead of wanting to be healthy, define precisely what optimal health looks like for you. Second, your desire must be written down and reviewed daily. Hill discovered that successful individuals constantly reinforce their primary desires through written affirmations, visualization, and regular review. Trump's consistent messaging about his goals, whether through tweets, rally speeches, or interviews, represented this principle in action. Create written statements of your burning desires and review them every morning and evening. Third, your desire must be backed by willingness to pay the price. Every achievement demands sacrifice, time, comfort, other opportunities, or immediate gratification. Trump's presidential campaigns required enormous personal and financial sacrifices. Your burning desires must be strong enough to motivate the sacrifices that achievement will demand. Finally, your desire must inspire you to immediate action. Burning desire isn't passive longing. It's active force that compels movement toward your goal. If your desires don't drive daily action, they aren't yet burning desires, they're merely wishes. Building unshakable faith. Through evidence. Faith isn't blind optimism, it's conviction based on evidence, precedent, and pattern recognition. Trump's faith in his political success drew from his business achievements, his understanding of media dynamics, and his recognition of political opportunities that others missed. You can build similar faith through systematic evidence gathering. Start by documenting your past achievements. Most people underestimate their own track record of overcoming obstacles and achieving goals. Create a detailed written record of every significant challenge you've overcome, every goal you've achieved, and every skill you've developed. This evidence becomes the foundation for faith in your ability to achieve even greater things. Study the achievements of others who have succeeded in your chosen field. Hill's original research involved studying successful individuals to identify common patterns. You can do the same by reading biographies, studying case histories, and interviewing successful people in your area of interest. This research will reveal that your goals are not only possible, but have been achieved by others with no greater advantages than you possess. Develop specialized knowledge in your chosen field. Faith grows stronger when it's backed by competence. Trump's faith in his political abilities was strengthened by his deep understanding of media, negotiation, and public communication. Invest time daily in developing expertise that makes your goals more achievable and your faith more justified. Mastering autosuggestion for personal transformation. Autosuggestion, the practice of repeatedly feeding your subconscious mind with success-oriented thoughts, may be Hill's most practical principle for immediate application. Trump's mastery of positive messaging and self-reinforcing communication demonstrates this principle's power. Create specific affirmations related to your burning desires. These should be positive statements, written in present tense, that describe your goals as already achieved. For example, I am confidently earning $100,000 per year through my expertise in digital marketing, or I am enjoying perfect health through my consistent exercise and nutrition habits. Repeat these affirmations with emotion and visualization at least twice daily. Hill emphasized that autosuggestion works only when combined with emotion and mental pictures. Trump's rally speeches weren't just policy statements. They were emotional experiences that created vivid mental images of future success. Your affirmations must similarly engage both emotion and imagination. Surround yourself with physical reminders of your goals. Trump's office was filled with symbols of his achievements and aspirations. Create a physical environment that constantly reminds you of your burning desires through pictures, quotes, vision boards, or other visual cues. Monitor and control your internal dialogue. Successful autosuggestion requires eliminating negative self-talk and doubt-based thinking. When you catch yourself thinking limiting thoughts, immediately replace them with positive alternatives. This mental discipline, practiced consistently, literally reprograms your subconscious mind for success. Acquiring specialized knowledge strategically. Hill discovered that general knowledge has little value compared to specialized knowledge applied toward specific goals. Trump's political success came not from general political knowledge, but from specialized expertise in media, branding, and direct communication. You must identify and develop the specialized knowledge your goals require. First, determine exactly what specialized knowledge your burning desire requires. If your goal is starting a successful business, you might need specialized knowledge in marketing, finance, operations, or industry-specific expertise. If your goal is achieving optimal health, you might need specialized knowledge in nutrition, exercise physiology, or stress management. Second, identify the most efficient sources for acquiring this knowledge. Hill emphasized that specialized knowledge can be gained through formal education, practical experience, or association with others who possess it. Often, the fastest path combines all three approaches. Third, organize your learning through systematic study and practical application. Trump didn't just study media theory, he practiced media manipulation through decades of publicity campaigns. Your specialized knowledge must be developed through both study and real-world application. Finally, form or join mastermind groups with others pursuing similar goals. Hill considered the mastermind principle, harmonious cooperation between individuals toward common goals, one of his most important discoveries. Trump's campaigns succeeded through mastermind groups of complementary specialists. You can accelerate your progress by connecting with others who possess specialized knowledge you need. Implementing organized planning in your daily life. Every achievement requires organized planning, but most people plan poorly or not at all. Trump's campaign succeeded through meticulous planning that anticipated obstacles, allocated resources efficiently, and maintained focus on ultimate objectives. You can apply similar planning principles to your personal goals. Start with written goal setting that includes specific objectives, deadlines, and action steps. Vague goals produce vague results. Your plans must be specific enough that anyone could follow them and achieve similar results. Include both short-term milestones and long-term objectives. Develop contingency plans for likely obstacles. Trump's campaigns prepared for media attacks, opposition research, and changing circumstances. Your plans should similarly anticipate possible setbacks and include specific strategies for overcoming them. This preparation prevents temporary obstacles from becoming permanent defeats. Review and revise your plans regularly. Hill emphasized that successful planning requires flexibility and constant adjustment based on results and changing circumstances. Trump's campaigns evolved continuously while maintaining focus on core objectives. Schedule weekly and monthly planning sessions to assess progress, adjust strategies, and refine your approach based on what you've learned. Create accountability systems that ensure consistent execution. Plans without execution are worthless. Trump's campaign succeeded through rigorous accountability systems that tracked progress toward specific objectives. Establish regular check-ins with mentors, partners, or accountability groups that keep you focused on consistent action. Mastering decision-making for rapid progress, Hill's research revealed that successful people make decisions quickly and change them slowly, while unsuccessful people make decisions slowly and change them quickly. Trump's rapid decision-making ability, developed through decades of business experience, proved crucial in fast-moving political environments. You can develop similar decision-making mastery. Gather sufficient information quickly, then decide. Perfectionist tendencies paralyze decision-making because complete information is never available. Successful individuals make decisions based on adequate rather than perfect information. Set deadlines for decisions and stick to them, even if you wish you had more data. Develop decision-making criteria in advance. Trump's campaigns made rapid decisions because they had clear criteria for evaluating options. Would this advance our core message, reach our target voters, and move us closer to victory? Establish similar criteria for your goals so decisions can be made quickly and consistently. Practice making irreversible commitments to your decisions. Hill found that successful people burn their bridges by making decisions that eliminate retreat options. This commitment creates the psychological pressure necessary for success. When you decide on a course of action, take steps that make retreat difficult or impossible. Learn from decisions without second-guessing them. Every decision teaches valuable lessons, but constant second-guessing prevents learning and forward progress. Trump faced countless decisions that could have been made differently, but dwelling on alternatives would have prevented future success. Make your decisions, learn from results, and apply those lessons to future choices. Developing unbeatable persistence. Persistence, Hill's most critical principle, separated Trump's comeback from the thousands of politicians who disappear after defeat. This quality can be developed through understanding and practice. Connect your goals to purposes larger than personal benefit. Trump's persistence drew strength from his conviction that his success served broader purposes beyond personal ambition. When your goals connect to values, principles, or service to others, persistence becomes easier because you're fighting for something bigger than yourself. Develop the habit of continuing when you don't feel like it. Persistence isn't about motivation. It's about action, regardless of feelings. Trump continued campaigning when polls showed him losing, when media coverage was hostile, and when supporters expressed doubt. Your persistence must similarly transcend temporary emotions and circumstances. Reframe setbacks as education rather than failure. Hill taught that every defeat carries lessons that make future success more likely. Trump's 2020 defeat provided insights about opposition strategies, changing voter patterns, and necessary improvements that made 2024's victory possible. View every setback as tuition paid for education that brings you closer to ultimate success. Surround yourself with persistence-minded people. Persistence is contagious, but so is quitting. Trump's core team included individuals who had demonstrated persistence through their own challenges. Associate with people who persist through difficulties and distance yourself from those who quit when things get tough. Applying these principles to common life challenges, career advancement. Use burning desire to identify specific career goals. Develop specialized knowledge through continuous learning. Build unshakable faith through documented achievements, and persist through temporary setbacks. Many people plateau in their careers because they lack the burning desire necessary to pay the price for advancement. Business success. Apply organized planning to business development. Use auto-suggestion to maintain confidence during challenging periods. Make quick decisions to capitalize on opportunities, and persist through the inevitable obstacles that stop most entrepreneurs. Trump's business success before politics demonstrated these principles in action. Financial independence. Develop burning desire for specific financial goals. Acquire specialized knowledge about wealth-building strategies. Use organized planning to create systematic saving and investment approaches, and persist through market fluctuations and economic uncertainty. Health and fitness. Create burning desire for specific health outcomes. Develop specialized knowledge about nutrition and exercise. Use auto-suggestion to maintain motivation, and persist through plateaus and temporary setbacks that cause most people to quit their fitness programs. Relationships. Apply these principles to building stronger personal and professional relationships through genuine interest in others, persistent effort to add value, and unshakable faith in the possibility of meaningful connections. Personal development. Use these principles to develop new skills, overcome limiting beliefs, and achieve personal growth goals that seem impossible from your current perspective. Your own principles-powered transformation. As we reach the end of this extraordinary journey through victory, defeat, and comeback, one truth stands unshakable. The principles that guided Trump through 3 historic presidential campaigns are the same principles that can transform your life regardless of your starting point, current circumstances, or the magnitude of obstacles you face. Napoleon Hill's research revealed a profound truth that transcends politics, business, or any specific field of endeavor. Success is not accidental, it's not reserved for the privileged few, and it's not dependent on circumstances beyond your control. Success is the predictable result of applying proven principles with unwavering persistence until desired outcomes are achieved. The 7 pillars of your personal empire. Burning desire, the starting point of all achievement, must become your North Star. Not wishful thinking, not casual hoping, but consuming obsessive desire that transforms every obstacle into stepping stone and every setback into setup for comeback. Your desires must burn so brightly that they illuminate the path forward, even in the darkest moments of doubt and discouragement. Unshakable faith, built on evidence, strengthened by knowledge, and refined through experience, becomes your psychological fortress against the inevitable attacks of circumstances, critics, and your own limiting beliefs. This faith doesn't ignore reality. It sees possibilities that others miss and maintains conviction when logic suggests surrender. Auto-suggestion, the daily practice of programming your subconscious mind for success, becomes your internal guidance system, automatically directing thoughts, decisions, and actions toward your desired outcomes. This isn't positive thinking, it's deliberate mental conditioning that creates automatic success responses. Specialized knowledge, continuously developed and strategically applied, becomes your competitive advantage in an increasingly complex world. While others rely on general knowledge, you develop expertise that makes you indispensable and creates opportunities that others cannot recognize or capitalize upon. Organized planning, flexible yet focused, detailed yet adaptable, becomes your roadmap through the chaos of daily life toward your ultimate destinations. Your plans become living documents that evolve with circumstances while maintaining unwavering focus on core objectives. Decision-making mastery, quick to commit, slow to change, based on adequate rather than perfect information, accelerates your progress while others debate, deliberate, and delay. Your decisions become expressions of commitment rather than tentative experiments, creating the momentum necessary for breakthrough achievement. Persistence, the crown jewel of all success principles, becomes your ultimate weapon against the forces of mediocrity, conformity, and surrender that stop most people just short of their greatest achievements. Your persistence transforms temporary defeat into permanent victory and impossible dreams into inevitable realities. The politics of personal success. The arena may change, from boardrooms to campaign rallies, from family challenges to entrepreneurial ventures, but the principles remain constant. The same psychological laws that govern political success govern every other form of human achievement. The same mental attitudes that create business empires create personal fulfillment. The same persistence that wins elections wins every other battle worth fighting. Trump's 3 campaigns demonstrated that these principles work regardless of opposition intensity, media hostility, or apparent impossibility of success. If they can overcome coordinated attacks from political establishments, media organizations, and legal systems, they can certainly overcome whatever obstacles currently stand between you and your dreams. But remember Hill's most important discovery. These principles require application, not just understanding. Knowledge without action is powerless. Understanding without implementation changes nothing. You must take these principles from the realm of intellectual appreciation into the arena of daily practice. Your moment of decision. Right now, as you process these insights, you face the same type of decision that Trump faced when descending that golden escalator in 2015. You can return to comfortable familiarity, accepting current limitations as permanent boundaries, or you can commit to applying these proven principles to create extraordinary results in your own life. The evidence is overwhelming. These principles work for anyone willing to work them. The research is complete. Hill interviewed over 25,000 individuals to identify these patterns. The proof is documented. Countless individuals have used these principles to overcome impossible odds and achieve extraordinary goals. The only remaining variable is you. Your willingness to develop burning desires that compel action, your commitment to building unshakable faith through evidence and experience, your discipline to practice daily auto-suggestion until success thinking becomes automatic, your dedication to acquiring specialized knowledge that creates unique value, your persistence to continue when temporary defeat suggests surrender. The ripple effect of your success. Your application of these principles creates ripple effects that extend far beyond personal achievement. Every time someone refuses to accept defeat as permanent, others are inspired to persist through their own challenges. Every demonstration of these principles in action provides evidence that extraordinary achievement is possible for ordinary people willing to apply extraordinary effort. Trump's political success, regardless of your political opinions, demonstrated that outsiders can challenge established systems, that persistence can overcome coordinated opposition, and that individuals committed to proven principles can achieve what experts declare impossible. Your success, in whatever field you choose, will provide similar inspiration to others who need evidence that their dreams are achievable. The legacy. Napoleon Hill spent his lifetime documenting success principles because he understood that individual achievement serves purposes larger than personal fulfillment. Every person who applies these principles and achieves extraordinary results adds to the evidence that human potential is unlimited when properly directed. Your success story, whether in business, relationships, health, creativity, or service to others, becomes part of this ongoing proof that Hill's principles work for anyone willing to work them. Your achievements become beacons of possibility for others struggling with their own challenges and doubts. Your next steps start now. The journey from where you are to where you want to be begins with a single decision, the decision to apply these principles starting today. Not tomorrow when circumstances improve, not next week when you have more time, not next month when obstacles disappear. Today, right now, with your current resources and despite your current challenges, choose your burning desire. Write it down in specific, measurable terms. Begin building unshakable faith through research and evidence gathering. Start practicing daily auto-suggestion through written affirmations and visualization. Identify the specialized knowledge your goals require and begin acquiring it immediately. Create organized plans with specific action steps and deadlines. Make quick decisions that advance your objectives. Commit to persistence regardless of temporary circumstances. Now I want to know, which of these 7 principles do you need to apply in your life today? Drop it in the comments, and don't forget to subscribe, leave a like, and share this video with someone who needs to hear this message. The principles are proven. The evidence is overwhelming. The choice is yours. Your extraordinary life is waiting. The only question is whether you'll claim it. The end of analysis, the beginning of achievement. This story of 3 campaigns guided by 7 principles ends where your story begins, with the recognition that success is not mysterious, accidental, or reserved for others. It's the predictable result of applying proven principles with sufficient persistence until desired outcomes are achieved. Napoleon Hill gave us the blueprint. Trump's campaigns provided modern demonstration. Now it's your turn to write the next chapter in the ongoing story of human achievement. The principles work. The question is, will you? Your time starts now. Remember, every master was once a disaster. Every professional was once an amateur. Every icon was once an unknown. The difference between those who achieve extraordinary results and those who don't isn't talent, luck, or circumstances. It's the consistent application of proven success principles with unwavering persistence until victory is achieved. Your victory story is waiting to be written. The pen is in your hand. The page is blank. The principles are proven. Begin now.